Hey, this is Sam here and welcome to the latest video. Today we're going to be talking about my morning ritual for success, what it is that I actually do and how you can utilize that to build your own routine. Okay, so the very first thing I want to talk about is the prize that we're running each and every month. So what we do is we pick the 3 best comments from each video, we put it into a random draw, and we give away free trainings, free YouTube evaluations, and actually cash straight to your PayPal account. So what you want to do in order to qualify for that is you want to subscribe, you want to like this video, and go ahead and comment something below. If you could do me a favor and answer this question, that is, what do you currently do for your morning ritual that I could possibly look at adding to mine? Okay, because at the moment I'm really only kind of just doing a handful of things, and we'll talk about them right now. So the very first thing I actually do is grab myself a large glass of water. I usually get anywhere between 500 and 750 mils because that's usually how much I can down in one single session. So you might be wondering what water's going to do with success. Well, it doesn't have a whole hell of a lot to do with it other than the physical side, but we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. But here's what it does do is after you've slept all night, you've typically been in bed for 8, 9, 10 hours, or 6, 7, 8, some of us, right? Your system is dehydrated, okay? And so what you need to do is rehydrate it so that you can start functioning again properly, right? The water is, I think they said 70 or 80%, the brain is 70 or 80% water. And so that's why it's so key to drink as much water as you possibly can. I usually aim for anywhere to from 3.5 to 4 liters of high quality liquids, right? So that includes detox drinks, that includes water, that includes smoothies, protein shakes, so on and so forth, okay? So usually I've got a glass of water with me, most of the time anyways. Or in the mornings, I get myself a really tall glass of 750 mils of water that I down during the session. So for example, I'll do one thing and then I'll drink 100 mils, and then I'll do the second thing and I'll drink 100 mils, so on, right? And then by the end of the session, your 20 to 30 minute session, what I do with my ritual, I've usually drunk that drink with no real problems. It's actually quite easy and I feel hydrated and ready to go, okay? So the second thing I actually do is I read, okay? And they say that leaders are readers, when in fact I actually think it might be the other way around, where readers are actually leaders, because people who naturally read tend to gain a lot more information. Now, I'll be completely honest, I'm not the first person to admit that I read a whole hell of a lot. I read anywhere from 2 to 10 pages per morning and per night, right? So that's anywhere from 4 to 20 pages a day that I read, and it's usually something to do with motivational, inspirational type information, because I want to start priming my mind for the day that's coming up, for all the challenges that are going to be coming at me. I want to be ready. I want to put something good in there to kick off my day, okay? The third thing that I do is a vision board. Now, in the traditional sense, what people do is they have something like what you have behind me. They have a really big board, you know what I mean, and they staple up pictures. That's the traditional sense of a vision board, right? And the idea is you're using the reticular activating system of your brain to utilize the law of attraction to bring to you what it is that you really truly want, or at the very least give you the inspiration in order, and then it's up to you to really take action upon it, because that's where a lot of people kind of mess up the law of attraction. They miss the last 6 letters, which is action, right? So what the law of attraction actually is you put out your desires, your goals, what it is that you truly want to achieve, and then you're inspired and motivated to take action, and it's your job to take that action, otherwise the law of attraction doesn't work, okay? So sorry, little side note there, but just wanted to put that out there. So the third thing I do in terms of the vision board is I don't do it in the traditional sense. I actually do it in terms of an app, right? And so I'll bring it up here on my phone so that you guys can actually see, and we'll just have a quick look. Whatever it is, you can see what I've got going on right there, okay? So that's a competition, that's an affiliate competition that I'm actually in right now. And so I have approximately 20 different things that I want to achieve on my virtual vision board, if you will, okay? It's more of an affirmations app. I think it's called My Affirmations, okay? I'll comment in the description what it's actually called. I've done videos on it before. Brilliant little app that I use morning and night to condition my mind in terms of the law of attraction, okay? And I use it in terms of vision board. I put down things that I want to achieve. That includes my body, my health, my fitness, my mindset, my relationships, and my business, okay? They're all on there, and I review them. I go over them once in the morning, once in the evening, to help kind of condition my mind for what it is that I want to actually achieve. Okay, so the fourth thing that I do is called box breathing. And I learned this one from Mark Divine. He's a Navy SEAL. He has a podcast. If you aren't subscribed to it and you do like podcasts, I'd suggest checking it out. He is very, very good to listen to. He's very motivating. There's something about the Navy SEALs that kind of sets them apart from everybody else in the world. Their mindset and the way that they're able to go after things is quite different from the average person. They have an ability to withstand difficulties, right? And despite the situations that are going on, they're able to soldier on. And that's what makes them so elite, right? So I do read quite a lot of books. I listen to audiobooks. I listen to podcasts from Navy SEAls, U.S. Marines and stuff like that, because they just seem to have a different mindset about them. And I do want that warrior mentality, that warrior mindset of, you know what, no matter what, you're going to just keep carrying on. And no matter what comes along, knocks me off my path, I'm going to get back on track and I'm going to figure it out. Yeah, there's a strength to understanding and feeding your mind the right stuff, because it's going to get you through the difficulties. When you're too tired, you know what I mean, to get up and work, you'll find a way to get up, because you'll remember a story when, hey, that guy, you know, lost his leg when he was in Afghanistan war, and he managed to get out of there, you know, despite being surrounded by, you know, 50 enemy people with guns shooting at him, and he still managed to figure it out. You know, you can figure out a way to get your ass off the couch and come and work at a computer for an hour to build your dream, right? That's the idea behind it all. So, box breathing is basically the idea that is you breathe a certain pattern, and that helps to energize your system, right? It also does actually help to detox it as well, physically and mentally, if you choose to do it the way that I do it, okay, and the way that Mark teaches it. So I'll just walk you through it very, very quickly. So what I do is I breathe in through my nose for a certain amount of time. There is no set time, okay, so you literally can't do this wrong. If you can breathe in for 5 seconds, if you can breathe in for 10, good on you, okay? The longest I've ever been able to do is 12, and the shortest I've ever done is 3, you know what I mean? Like, you wake up in the morning, you're feeling sluggish, and one day I forgot to do my water. I just got straight into my breathing exercise, and my system wasn't hydrated, and I struggled to get past that 3-second period, okay? So I just breathe in through my nose. I'll just do it for 5 seconds, for example, and I'll go. Once I breathe in for 5 seconds, I'm going to hold it for 5 seconds, and while I'm holding it, I'm saying the affirmation in my mind. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better, right? Yes, so that's a Tony Robbins thing that I learned from him, an affirmation that I learned from him, that you can use it as a pattern of walking as well, okay? And we can talk about that a little bit later on too. So, and then once I say every day in every way, I'm getting better and better, yes, then I breathe out for 5 seconds. And the way you want to breathe is you want to breathe first through your stomach, because you want to activate your system, particularly your diaphragm, because that's what's going to allow you to oxygenate your system. Okay? So once you breathe in through your stomach, then allow it to come up through your chest. By the time you get to the top, you'll probably be able to squeeze out 5 or 6 or maybe even 7 seconds when you very first start this exercise. And then from there, right, your system is now activated, and you'll be able to improve better. You'll be able to get better and better and better. Like I said, the longest I've ever done was 12 seconds, which just blew my mind, because when I started, you know, it was difficult to do 4, 5, 6. So that's the idea, okay? So that's why it's called a box. You know, you're essentially breathing in for 5 seconds, you're holding for 5 seconds, then you're breathing out for 5 seconds, okay? Essentially a box. Hopefully that makes sense. And then you do the affirmations when you're holding your breath, okay? You can just have one mantra if you want to. And what I would suggest that mantra be is whatever your primary goal at that particular time in life. For example, for you, it might be your business. It could be your health. It could be, you know, for me, I aim for overall general success, which is why in every day, in every way, I get better and better. Yes, right? Because the idea is that I've got a general affirmation, and I'm saying yes to kind of anchor it into my mind, into my subconscious, that's what I truly want to achieve. So for you, if it's for your health, for example, you might want to say in every day, in every way, I'm getting healthier and healthier. Yes, right? That's the idea behind it. So what do I do in terms of my hands? So what I do is I kind of do like a meditation type pose. If you understand anything about the body and its energy and anything like that, there is a very specific reason why people who meditate sit the way that they sit, right? So I essentially took that concept, you know, of meditation and adapted it to box breathing, and then I have my fingers basically like this, okay, if you will, and I have them sitting on my lap when I'm sitting up, or if I'm lying down, then I have my hands crossed, sometimes overlapped, over the lower part of my stomach. So I don't want it to hinder my breathing, having it up here on my stomach. I have it on the lower part, okay? Or you could just completely relax, honestly. You're still going to get the physical benefits, right? You're still going to get the physical benefits of box breathing if you have your hands on the side and you do it that way, okay? I've done all of them. They all work. It works great, especially, remember, when you're doing your water in between. Try and hold your box breathing unit. This is kind of the order that I go through, honestly. So I kind of hold my box breathing for the middle of the exercise. By then I've gotten 300-400 mils of water into my system, and I can breathe deeper and therefore oxygenating my system even further. Okay, so the other thing I do is, or one of the last things I do is a motivational video. Now this doesn't happen very often, but it does happen once in a while, because I'll wake up, I feel terrible, I don't have the energy, and I need a kind of a kick in the ass to get myself going. And so what I'll actually do instead is I'll sit down and watch, and there are a ton of YouTube videos out there that have motivational videos, you know, anywhere from 1 minute to, you know, 30 minutes. I've seen some that are an hour and a half. I don't watch any that are an hour and a half. I always look for ones that are under 10 minutes, okay, because that is usually enough. I'll sit there and I'll watch and I'll go, yep, okay, I'm good to go, okay. I've gotten my little, you know, burst of inspiration. I'm ready to get out of bed and knock the day out, right? So that's probably the final thing that I'll do if I absolutely need be. And the very last exercise, okay, and this is something I do at any point during the exercise. It can be at the beginning of the workout, it can be at the end. It really depends, but I make sure my mind is clear before I actually do this one, and that is goal checking, right? And so every single week I set my goals on a Sunday night, right? And every single night before I go to sleep, I set 10 to sort of 15 goals that I want to achieve the next day. All right? So this does actually go kind of back, if you will, into the evening routine, because you're checking on your goals, not setting them. You don't want to start your day setting goals, because then you're setting it based off of feelings. You're setting it off how you feel at that very moment in time, which is usually not that amazing, right? Especially first thing in the morning. So what I do is I set it the night prior, and because I know what my schedule is for the next day, I know how much time I have available and what I've got going on. And so I'll set out my goals. You know, sometimes it's, you know, it's a day trip with the family, if it's a Saturday, for example, or it might be a date night with the partner, if that's the case. Then I've got my, you know, 5 or 6 business goals that I want to achieve for that day that I don't want to, I have to, right? That's another mindset shift that you need to make. Whatever you prioritize, you'll materialize. Okay, so what I actually set out the night before, I have 100% intention of getting it done. I don't sit there thinking maybe I can do it. Oh, I'll see how I feel in the morning. No, I set out 100% what it is that I'm actually going to do, and I get after it the next day. Okay, sometimes I hit, you know, 10 out of 10. Sometimes I hit 8 out of 10. Right? But I give it everything I possibly can. I condition my mind that what I said I'm going to achieve. Yeah. So those are the different things that I do. I believe there was 7 in there. There's reading, goal checking, vision boards, box breathing, motivational video, water. Okay. So that's 6 things, not 7, that I do every single morning to condition my mind. That's my morning ritual for success that I do to condition my mind. So what I do after that, right, because that's just as important, is I try to knock out one of my goals immediately. So sometimes, obviously, you know, it's a bit later in the morning and the kids need to go to school, and that's fine. I'll drop them off and then I'll come back and get into my day, right? That's just the way it is. Some of us are in that situation, some of us don't. So what do you do if you do actually have the time? What I try and do is get into something physical, because that's going to wake up the rest of my system so that I can get going, right? I've already talked about oxygenating your system and hydrating your system. Now it's time to get it going. And we all know that working out first thing in the morning, you know, there's extra benefits in terms of health and as well as weight loss, or fat loss more specifically, compared to working out later in the afternoon. And I don't know about you, but I'm not always motivated to get into the gym. It's not something I love. I'm loving the process, but I don't love going to the gym. I would rather run around on a basketball court for 2 hours, okay? But here's the thing, getting a workout done first thing in the morning, because it's a challenge mentally and physically, it sets my day up on the right path. I've already done my morning rituals and I've completed a workout. Those are 2 things that are difficult. The first thing conditions, you know, my mind, my body, my system. The second thing gets my body ready, and it knocks out one of the most difficult things that I kind of face during the day, right? Because I enjoy building my business. I love playing basketball. So doing those kinds of things, going on date nights and family days, those are all fine. They're all easy to do. Okay. So I try to start my day on the right tone, as in, you know what? It doesn't matter how difficult it is. I'm going to get this done. That gets me on the right path for the rest of the day. So you might be wondering how you go about building your morning ritual for success. And here's the thing, guys. I didn't start with all 6 of those things, or 7 if you include the workout, 8 if you include the drink that I have pre, intra, and post-workout, right? I didn't start all of those things just like that. It took me time to build to those things. So what did I actually do? I think I actually started with only 2, maybe even 3 if I was lucky, things. And I tested different things out, because here's the thing, everybody's different, right? Some people love journaling, but some people love affirmations rather than vision boards because they find it more difficult to visualize, they find it easier to verbalize. Some people love journaling because they prefer to write, as opposed to reading. Some people love reading, but they don't necessarily like motivational videos, right? Some people like motivational videos, but they don't necessarily want to drink, 750 mils of water. So here's the thing, everybody's different. What I would suggest is that you do, 2 things in particular, 1 physical, 1 mental, okay? So if, for example, 1 physical thing might be to drink, 500 mils of water. The second thing, mental, might actually be reading or goal checking or affirmations or vision boards, whatever it is for you. And now I would literally say just start on like 1 or 2 minutes and do that, right? And then you build your momentum. Focus on the habit first. Make it so stupid easy that you are going to do it no matter what. You're going to feel so terrible that it's literally so easy to drink 500 mils of water, and it's really, really easy to sit down and read for 2 minutes or read 2 pages or read 1 page. It's not about what you're actually doing at the beginning. It's about gaining momentum and habitualizing the fact that you do your morning ritual. Now, before when I started out, I had to convince myself to get up and do it, that it was good for me, that it was good for what it is, even though I knew the benefits, right? You still tell yourself BS stories when you get up in the morning and you're tired. So what I do instead is I started with such a simple routine that there was no excuse not to do it. And then I continued to improve from there. And these six things that I do now, again, 7, 8, depending on whether you include the workout as part of my morning ritual, I actually do those particular things. I did those things after testing probably 15 or 20 different things. I tried journaling. It doesn't work for me. I'm not very interested, okay? It doesn't motivate me. It doesn't inspire me, okay? I understand that there are people out there that do it. It's very successful. Good for them, okay? That's fine. They can do it that way if they want to. Maybe one day I'll come around to journaling, but for now, it doesn't work, okay? So anything else that you see out there, affirmations, you know what I mean, morning detoxes, squeezing lemon into the drinks, for example, that might work for you. If that's the case, go for it. I've tried apple cider vinegar, I've tried lemon. They all work, they're all great, but I enjoy just as much starting my day with just plain water, okay, or alkalized water, that is. So here's the thing. I would suggest picking 2 or 3 different things that you can start with, that you can build on, right? And even if you start with those 2 or 3 things, just 1 minute per thing. If it's reading 1 page, right? If it's water, 100 mils, 200 mils, just start little. Make it so simple that you are going to succeed no matter what. You're going to start feeling good after a week. You're going to start feeling good. Then you can increase it to 2 minutes or 2 pages or 200 or 300 mils of water. And eventually you'll get to the point where you're doing 6 things, 7, 8, 9 things just like I'm doing without even trying. You're going to roll out of bed. You're going to do it without even trying. It's just part of like your morning, just like when you get up and you brush your teeth, okay? So whatever it is, focus on small. Focus on the habit. Focus on making it part of your every single day. And then from there, right, you build it and you gain more and more momentum until you get to the point where you're doing 20, 30 minutes easily every single morning just like I do, okay? So look, I hope this video was helpful. That was my morning ritual for success, what I do and how to build your routine for your success, okay? If you've got any questions whatsoever, go ahead and comment below. Again, remember to be part of the competition. You need to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below, and we will put you into that draw for our current pool is $1,232, and it is going to grow every single month. Okay, so take care, much love, and I'll see you again in tomorrow's video.